Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I haven't gone over gun safety in a while. So now's your chance to turn off the video if you don't like guns. No, anyway, earlier today I was watching this video from Popular Preparedness, and he was talking. He had a man on by the name of Dean, who was a former Army medic, and they were talking about first aid. And it kind of inspired me to start thinking a little bit more about these things. Not so much first aid. They did a really good video on that. I shared it to my channel. If anybody want to if anyone wants to look at that on the community page, it's Popular Preparedness, and I think they're going to do at least a part 2 or maybe more. And they just talked about some basic first aid things that could save people's lives. And I also recommended a while back stopthebleed.org. If people are interested in looking at first aid, learning first aid, or just kind of honing your skills or your knowledge in that area. But anyway, that video kind of got me thinking about the fact that May is coming upon us real quick now. May 1st tomorrow. And even though, I mean, nobody really knows what's going to happen in May, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all from what I'm hearing and reading and things people are sending me and telling me and so forth. Just not looking good. So if the circumstance ever arose in your neighborhood or your city or your town or wherever you live, whether you have a gun, own guns, like guns, don't like guns, whatever, if the circumstance ever came about to where you needed to use one for whatever reason, maybe it's defend yourself, your family, or you just needed to, like I said, the situation just arises to where you need to know how to use a gun, but you've never picked one up. You've never shot one. You're not familiar with them. You're scared to death of them. Whatever the situation may be. Okay, well, first of all, it's not going to bite you, okay? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a tool, just like any other tool, okay? What I have here is a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson, all right? This is my gun, and one of them anyway. And, it's completely empty. You see the magazine well here? Completely empty, okay? The slide, we call it the slide right here, is completely open, completely empty, okay? So that's what we have here, okay? So if you find a gun like this, it's not going to do you much good unless you need a hammer, I mean, or you could, fool somebody maybe, into thinking that it's loaded when it's not, just by simply taking the slide release button here with your thumb and just going down like that. Now it looks like it's loaded, right? And technically it is loaded because how can you tell? You don't know, right? So anyway, but most of the time if you find a gun, or you know anything about guns, your neighbor has guns, or whatever the case may be, and there's a situation where things get real violent, real tense, whatever the case may be, in your city, your town, what have you, there's a good chance that you're going to have this, a magazine, not a clip, it's called a magazine, already in the gun. And it's going to look something like that, okay? And most likely, the gun will be completely closed, just like that. The slide will be closed, the magazine will be in and seated. It's called seated, so you can't move it around. It's in there. This gun is definitely ready to fire, completely loaded and ready to fire. The only thing that is keeping this gun from firing is the fact that it's on safe. See, there's the safety here. You hook that down, you see that red button right there? Red is dead, okay? You see the red? Red is dead. That's what that means. Okay, that's how you remember that. All right. But if this is up, the gun will not fire because the safety's on. Now, a lot of guns like Glocks and other type of semi-automatic pistols, they do not have a safety here. The safety is your trigger. That's why you keep your finger off the trigger. See, along the slide here. So that way, if your finger's off the trigger, the gun will not fire. It is impossible for this gun to fire as long as I keep my finger off the trigger, okay? But now, I'm going to go ahead what's wrong here? There we go. It's kind of tricky here. You got to like push your thumb up right along the slide release right here, okay, and pull it back and hold it at the same time. It's a little tricky. My thumb slipped. That's why I couldn't do it the first time. And I wound up ejecting 2 rounds, which I didn't mean to do. But it happens. Anyway, so, and now I'm going to eject the magazine. There's the magazine release button right here alongside the grip. This is called the grip. And you push that with your thumb and you just simply eject the magazine. Okay, now, so, basic gun safety, okay? Keep your finger along the slide, okay? Away from the trigger guard, okay? Until your sights are on the target and you are prepared to shoot, okay? Now, like I already said before, guns, all guns are loaded, right? The only reason this gun is not loaded is you can see, no magazine in here, no bullet here. This gun is completely unloaded. But now, it's loaded, okay? Because you can't tell, right? The only reason is that's empty, but you can't see that if you're pointing it at somebody or they're pointing it at you. So it's loaded. Get it? So, unloaded, loaded, okay? All right, now, to fire, okay? I'm gonna keep the magazine and the bullets and everything out for now, okay? To fire this gun, okay? Pretend like there's a magazine in it, there's bullets in it, and as soon as you release it with your thumb here, and if you slam the magazine home hard enough, like slam it like this hard enough, this will likely go forward and that will automatically put a bullet in the chamber right here, okay? So, you release it like that, okay? Or if you, like I said, you slam the magazine home hard enough into the magazine well, and then it goes forward, it automatically puts a bullet in the chamber. So at least you got 1 bullet in the chamber there, okay? Even if your magazine's empty, you got 1 bullet in the chamber, all right? So, to fire, okay? I am going to put my finger on the trigger because my sights are on the target and I'm prepared to shoot, okay? But I'm not gonna put it all the way in like that and squeeze it. No, it's just the padding of your index finger, just like that, okay? And then you just simply pull the trigger. Now, but before I pull the trigger, I want to make sure that at least my front sight right here is on the target, and you always aim center mass, not to kill somebody. You don't shoot to kill, you shoot to stop the threat. However many times that takes for you to pull the trigger, you shoot to stop the threat, meaning you shoot until they stop threatening you, until they stop coming towards you, okay? But I'm gonna pull the trigger here, but guess what? It's not gonna do anything. You know why? Because it's on safe. This gun has a safety. So you have to pull it down, okay? And remember, I already ejected the magazine, okay? There's no bullet in the chamber, okay? All right, so now it's ready to fire. Now, if I have my sights, at least my front sight. If I have time, I'll line up the front sight with the rear sight. But at least my front sight directly pointed at their chest, center mass, excuse me. And then I don't put my finger all the way in, just the padding right there. And then make sure that your hand is all the way up on this grip, as far as it can go. You don't want it down like that. And why? Because it'll pinch you, it'll get you. And not only that, but your shots will be way off and you don't have as much control over the gun. So you want to make sure that the webbing of your hand here is right up, as high up on the grip as you can get it, okay? Just like that, all right? And then you just simply pull the trigger and just release. Just like that. See, the whole time I keep my finger on the trigger here. You don't slap it, okay? And you don't let it go. You follow it through. All the way through, just like that. Okay? All right. So, now, I'm going to show you how to load a magazine, okay? I'm going to put this back on safe. There we go. Okay, back on safe. Slides open. All right, completely empty. All right. Magazine, okay? I've already got some bullets in this magazine, okay? And these are hollow points. Keep dropping stuff. All right. These are hollow points, all right? Or what they would call duty ammo, all right? So what you want to have, what you hope to have, is hollow points in the magazine and the gun. And here's why. Whatever bullet is fired from this gun, you are responsible for. I am responsible for. Anybody that carries is responsible for. Okay? So, the thing about hollow points is when they enter the body, most likely they will stay in the body and expand. Whereas, bullets that do not have a hollow point, they're completely closed off here, they likely will pass through the body. Those are called target, basically target ammo that you use at the range and so forth. They will likely pass through the body, which means that they could pass through one person's body into another person's body that you are not intending to shoot. So you are responsible for every single bullet that comes out of the gun, and the backstop, it's called, basically anybody behind that person or anything in that general vicinity. So if you were to fire, you would want to have hollow points, okay? Or duty ammo, that they call it. Good luck finding them now. Probably have to order them online, maybe some gun stores, but a lot of times they'll only sell them to law enforcement too, to be honest with you. But anyway, these are hollow points, okay? Now when it comes to loading a magazine, I've already got a few in here, okay? Now, the way you know that the magazine, I'm not going to completely load it all the way, that's boring, okay? But the way you know that it's completely loaded is right here, this hole right here, if you can see it, that'll be covered with one of the bullets, okay, or the round, okay? So, now, it's pretty simple when you start out, okay? It's pretty pliable here, and what you do is you just kind of hold your thumb down, and you take just the edge, just like that, and you push down, and you push in, just like that. But then the more you put in, the harder it gets. Okay, at first it's pretty easy. I don't have that many bullets in this one. And some magazines, they might take, 10, 12, 17, whatever, I mean, as many as you can get in there, okay? And I'll show you a trick here in a second. But you just hold it down, whether you're right or left-handed, you hold it down like that. You can kind of hear it click a little bit, or pop, and just right on the edge, push it in, turn it, push it in. Okay? Just like that. Okay? So, anyway, that's about all I have. I'm not going to show you anything else right now. I've got other gun safety stuff on my self-defense playlist, anybody's interested in that. But I just wanted to kind of give people a refresher for those that don't know or haven't seen it before, show them. I will go over one last thing. Holstering, or a holster, like if you carry concealed or you don't, or whatever the case may be. There's several different types of holsters. Uncle Mike's, I like Uncle Mike's, sometimes Black Hawk, whatever. You go to gun ranges and you can find whatever it is that is available most of the time. If it's available, you can usually find a holster that'll fit your gun. Or if you have any questions, if you were going to purchase a weapon or you already have one, just go to the, whoever's in the gun store at the time, and they could probably help you with that. But anyway, this is an inside the pant holster here for concealed carry, and I like this. And, but if you're going to do that, carry it, because it's comfortable, but it's kind of, I don't know, it just feels weird if you're not used to it, because what it does, it goes right inside the pant like this, and then just like that. Now, I'm used to it because I carry, but other people may not be used to that. Some people, they like if it's still winter or whatever, they wear a jacket. There's other type of holsters where you have one that wraps around, an elastic band where it actually has the holster, and then it has 2 magazine pouches as well, which is good because that way you can carry extra magazines. But it's whatever people prefer. But anyway, Just wanted to point that out as well. So that's about all I have. I just wanted to make people familiar with, if there's ever a situation where you find a gun, you find a magazine next to the gun, you'll know what to do. You'll be like, okay, I need this gun. You know, yeah, you're gonna be scared, you know, but you're shaking everywhere and everything, but you'll remember, okay, magazine, gun, okay, magazine, there's at least a few bullets in it, cool, okay, it goes like this, you want this part, it's kind of obvious, to be honest with you. See, like that, you put it in like that, it's not gonna work, okay? So, you want, and if you slam it home, oh, it didn't work. Okay, that's fine. Just slide release. Uh-oh, I jammed it. There we go. Aha, see? I tried to slam it home. I couldn't at first. Now I have a jam. See, that's good. I'm glad that actually happened. So what do, right? Try to slam it home again. Okay, now it's home. Okay, now I slammed it home into the weld, just like that. Okay, and now I've got a bullet in the chamber. Or do I? No, I don't. Which means I've got a racket. Called racking, okay? Now, I have a bullet in the chamber. See that silver bullet right there? Okay? See? So you can't be nervous, you can't be scared. It's problem solving, okay? Doesn't work the first time, try something else, okay? Now, I'm ready to go, okay? All I have to do is take it off safe, put my finger on the trigger. I'm good to go, all right? So, if a situation occurs where you're firing and you do have a jam and it just won't go for whatever reason, all you do is eject the magazine and you just keep racking it until the bullets pop out, and then you can, some people do the slingshot, some people go like this. It just depends on your finger strength, okay? And you want to keep it down too, by the way, okay? So anyway, and that way you get all the stoppages cleared, okay? Pop the magazine back in. No bullet is in the chamber. Why? Because I didn't rack it. Now, there's a bullet in the chamber. See that? Okay. So, one last thing, and then I'm done. And check this out. I ejected the magazine, but what? Look at that. Still a bullet in the chamber. Okay? Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, that is police technique when you, or military law enforcement technique, you load this thing as high as you possibly can. You get as many rounds as you can. You put it in, you seat it, send it home, got another jam. You know why? Check it out. See that? Look at that. See? All right, let's try it again. Okay? Okay. All right. Then, say for instance this magazine is completely full. All right? Now, what you do is you put a round in the chamber like I just did, eject the magazine, you just made room, put another bullet or round in the magazine, put it back in, make sure it's seated, still got that round in the chamber, and you've got a full magazine. Check that out. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Last thing. To practice your trigger pull, okay? Get a ballpoint pen, just a regular ballpoint pen, and do this. Or you're at work or home or whatever, just simply, and just follow it through. If you're gonna shoot, learn how to shoot. That's how you do it. Just like that. You can do that while watching TV, reading, looking at the internet, whatever. Just like that. And that is how you practice your trigger pull. All right. I think that's all I have. Hope this is helpful to people. I'm actually glad the gun jammed a few times because that way I could show you stoppages. And that will happen if you don't seat the magazine properly, okay? Or during the process of firing, if you're empty, empty, okay? If you're during the process of firing, if your hand's too low, you can have a stoppage. There's a lot of things that can happen. Like I said, the magazine's not seated properly. You know, maybe one of the bullets is pushed out a little too far. There's a lot of things that can happen. But I say, you don't panic. Just eject, use the magazine eject button here, rip it out, and just keep racking it until you clear it all. Then put your bullets in, your magazine, and you want to do this away from an area, if you can, where you have to use the gun. You know, you want to try to find some cover or concealment. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do this out in the open. You know, cover meaning something that will stop bullets for the most part. Concealment meaning something that will hide you, but maybe not necessarily stop bullets. It's like an engine block or something like that is good cover. You know, in a car, or you know, maybe a concrete wall or what have you. Anyway, okay, magazine's loaded. Gun is empty. Okay, we're safe. We're good to go. That's all I have. Hope this was helpful to some people. I don't know what to tell you. Situation ever arises to where you have to pick up a gun. Maybe now you know how to use it. maybe this will be helpful to you. Watch this a few times. You see what can go wrong and what can, you know, and how to load it, how to unload it. I think that's about it. Yeah, I can't think anything else. And like I said, good ballpoint pen, just like that. And that'll help you practice the trigger pull. Okay, that's it. Hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.